Well, hello there. It is Kevin again here, and welcome back to my video. But today, you can see I'm not sitting near any instruments because I'm not doing anything music related. For me, I have never been someone who likes to jump on board any pre-sales of major items, but this is an exception. In my hand right now is the MacBook Neo in the indigo color. Right now, I use a Mac Mini. It's fantastic. I use it for my music productions, my video editings, and to watch games and do my everyday work is fine, right? But this year, Apple have released their so-called budget line MacBook, and I just had to jump on board and get one. This is like the first ever time for any situation that I've ever gone for pre-sale even, and it got delivered today. It carries the A18 Pro chip and is a 13-inch, right? It's a budget line, so a lot cheaper than the MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros, which do of course have a much higher price, but also carry a much more powerful processor, right? It'll carry the 8 gigabytes, if I remember correctly, right? And like I said, Apple A18 Pro chip. So let's see how it goes. Here's the box. Let's send it to the back. And let's open it up. Oh yeah. So here are the two to get rid of. And let's turn them to the side and take a look. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So it's, okay, it's wrapped in the plastic, that's why. So here's the MacBook. We'll take apart. Look at this beautiful indigo color. Oh my goodness. I am just in all of this. So these are kind of the newer colors, right, of the MacBooks. This is the actual laptop. And then you have this little booklet, which says designed by Apple in California. And I assume it'll be user manual for the MacBook Neo. Yep. Basically, it shows you how you could do everything. I'm a Mac user. I've used the Air, the Pro before, so we'll see. Okay. You got your USB-C charging cable and the block all wrapped up. The block as well, I think. Yes, it's wrapped up, so let's take that out. And here's your charging cable, USB-C ports. Let's see. Ooh. I'm terrible with unboxing, as you can tell. All right. And then take a look at the box right now. Okay. And then there's nothing else. Let's place the box down. The laptop itself feels pretty sturdy. Okay. And it only features 2 USB-C ports. And if I remember correctly, both of them do not have the same power. It automatically turns on as you open up. I'll put this on the side as well for now. Of course, please make sure to clean up after yourself later. Okay, look at this beautiful color. And the most important thing is, if you can see within the camera, the keyboard, right, the keys actually resemble somewhat the color of the actual Mac. So right now I have the indigo color, so my color is also indigo for the keyboards, okay? But the thing, of course, with this specific Mac, before I set it up and give it a try, is the trackpads. Now, the trackpads does not follow the other Mac Airs or Mac Pros, okay? It doesn't have that kind of like touch feel. You would actually have to physically press, okay? So that's something. And as well, the screen does have like a little bit more like of an edge than what's it called? Let's say a MacBook Air, MacBook Pro. Okay, so here's the thing now with this MacBook. Let me just quickly, give me 1 second. Oh, this trackpad actually feels nice. Okay, so yeah, this MacBook, like I said, is an A18 Pro chip for the MacBook Neo. Okay, so please know that it's not going to be as powerful as your MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros. So for me, right, if you're just doing your everyday web browsing and you're not doing like heavy tasks like producing music, video editing, or anything that's intensive, this laptop will be fine. I feel like the A18 chip worked more like an iPad on a MacBook kind of a thing. So, that's kind of what I thought. So now let me just right now I'm just kind of okay, I'm back now. I was just inputting some information for the Mac. All right, so yeah, like I said, if you're not doing intensive tasks, I think you'll be fine. I still am gonna keep my Mac Mini for music productions and that. This is just because I work at a school and it will be a lot easier for me to carry the laptop around here, there, all that kind of stuff, right? And as well, there are actually two options for this MacBook as well. You can get a slightly more expensive option with the fingerprint, or you can choose to get it without. Mine, of course, is the one without the fingerprint, so I don't have to physically enter the password if I need to. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to talk too much into it. Once I actually start using the Mac, we'll continue with the video. Alrighty then, I just have the MacBook Neo set up with a new account, so I have to show you some stuff. First thing first, the color is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this blush color, of course, which is what I got. There's also some other colors. There's also other colors you could get, like there's the blush color, the regular silver color, and the very, very, very striking citrus color. Right? Okay, right now I have it muted, which is great. And you have actually two options for these MacBook Neos as well. I have the one with just the lock button. So you have to enter passwords every time, I guess, if it dims. There's also an option for the actual fingerprint ones, which I feel like would be great, right? So what do I think is the pro of this computer? Well, first thing first, this laptop is at a reasonable price. Let me get rid of this first. It's at a reasonable price, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that this computer is cheap. It is still not, right? It's great, and you're getting a lot out of it, okay? It runs the same Mac OS system as like a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, which, to be honest, I was originally skeptical. I thought it was gonna run maybe like a downgraded version of a Mac OS, something closer to an iOS, because it kind of resembles an iPad, in its processing chips. Which of course is great. It runs the actual Mac system, right? Let me show you. Of course, you still have your apps, right? All the things installed. You can see it. There's also other apps you could probably download from the App Store, right? Next up, the display. It is quite decent for the Mac Neo. Of course, the display won't be as sharp as your MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros, but for me, it is totally fine. Okay, it works well. And I forgot to mention as well, the keys, right, does actually have a color that somewhat matches the color of the actual Mac Neo you buy, which is fantastic, right? Now here comes the cons, okay? First con, definitely for sure, just two ports, two USB-C ports. I mentioned in the previous section of my video, the two ports won't be the same in terms of output either, right? So yeah, if you want to, let's say, plug an HDMI cable to connect to a TV for something, or need like a USB or something like that, USB-A, I don't know, you would have to get external cables, right? But it's been like that. Even my previous MacBook Pro was like that. So I'm not offended by it really. It's just, you gotta spend extra, right? Second thing, the trackpad. You have to actually click on it, so there's no sensor to it, okay? Which I'm used to my old MacBook Pro, which does have the sensor. So this is kind of a slight downgrade. Again, I'm not offended by it, right? So those are kind of the two cons. And of course, the battery life will be slightly worse than your MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros, right? So I'll give you my opinion on who I think should be getting a MacBook Neo and who I think shouldn't, okay? I know I'll be contradicting myself in the video as well, so bear with me. Okay, anyways, who I think should be getting a Mac Neo, right? I think college students would find the Mac Neo is working pretty well, right? If you want a sleek looking MacBook, oh my goodness, I've never seen such beautiful MacBooks, all right? I used to have a MacBook Air, broke down, so I changed to MacBook Pro for a while. And I just kind of had the gray color for most of the time, right? This one, oh my goodness, these 4 colors are striking, right? I mean, the blush color, not to mention, there's also the citrus, which is absolutely terrific. So that I think would be, right? And it works well for everyday tasks, right? It functions well. It's pretty lightweight for a laptop as well. So if you put it in your backpack, you're not gonna feel like it's super heavy, right? You got your aux cord port or headphone jack, I guess it's called. And you probably cannot see it clearly. Let me see if I can. There's the 2 speakers right here, right? I haven't tested it out yet. I'll test them out when I have time. I got a student actually in about half an hour, so after this I gotta go. So yeah, for students, right? Or I think for people, if this is your first ever laptop, this is quite nice. It gets all the jobs done. You can surf the web, right? Watch videos, and even some light kind of like music stuff I feel like would be fine, really. I'm not sure. I'll make a secondary video once I get to test out all the functions, right? But here are who I think should not be getting this MacBook Neo, okay? And no offense to anyone, because I am offending myself already, or not offending, but contradicting myself. People who need to use it for heavy tasks, like if you want to use like Final Cut Pro or Logic Pro X, stuff like that, I really don't think you should be using it. For me, I'm still gonna keep my Mac Minis to use, right, for like those tasks, right? This laptop for me, mainly, I'm gonna bring it to school. I'm a teacher, okay? It's a lot easier for me to bring a laptop than a half desktop type like thing, right? So yeah, if you're gonna use it for like heavy tasks, honestly, I don't think, okay? Or if you're someone that needs to do tasks that require lots of like USB-A ports, HDMI ports, you need to plug in flash drives a lot, yeah, probably not, right? Unless you want to spend lots of money on external cables. And yeah, please do get legit ones. Don't ask me how I know, right? And of course, if you don't like a trackpad that you actually need to click, maybe not for you, right? So either way, after all, first impression wise, this MacBook is really, really nice. I really do like it, and it will fit what I need to do, okay? So anyways, this will be for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Alright, so I've just got the MacBook Neo set up, and I have everything imported from a previous Mac Mini, which worked well. So when I did my open box on Wednesday, I was kind of skeptical about how this MacBook would be performing. Okay, especially with the high demand tasks that I do with music production and video editing. So I'll have to test it out, okay? First thing first, for me, I don't do a lot of heavy music productions. My music usually is like I record a couple instrumental tracks, 6 or 7. The largest project I've done was about 22 tracks, that's it, okay? But today, to keep everything fair, I did put the MacBook Neo on my cooling fan, but it's not plugged in, okay? So just to be fair, I just don't want the Mac to be touching the piano cloth, just in case, okay? Also, no headphones or no external like sound cards or anything. Audio interface of some sorts. Just keep everything fair. I'm using the 2 speakers on the side of the MacBook Neo. So right now I'm gonna load up a project. Okay, let's do the one that has the 22 tracks, okay? Right, so right now I have this loaded, which was a cover of Test Drive from How to Train Your Dragon. As you can see here, 22 tracks. And not a lot of plugins being used. There's a lot of like, what's it called? Default plugins, right? And you gotta know that Logic is native to Apple, so that could help, right? Tracks like these, not too intense, okay? But it's definitely not a light project. I'm only gonna play the first 1 to 2 seconds of this, otherwise this video probably would have been taken down. And as you can tell so far, it's running pretty good, okay? But now, I'm gonna test something out right now, okay? I'm going to duplicate this audio track a couple more times so it gets to 50 tracks in total. I wanted to make sure. I'm gonna first, okay. So this is probably gonna take a while. All right, we've just got ourselves to 50 tracks now, okay? Let's see how it will work now. Yeah, of course, the audio you're hearing right now isn't because of a problem with the system. It's a lot of audio tracks, obviously, okay? So I'm gonna duplicate it a couple more times. All right, so we got to 60 tracks. Let's see who it plays to. Oh my goodness, it actually plays with the 60 tracks. Of course, not a huge intensive project, but we're gonna stop here now with this test, otherwise this video will drag on for forever. Okay, I'm of course not gonna save it either, but so far, I am actually pretty impressed. Okay, I didn't think the MacBook Neo would even be able to handle this big of a project, being a budget. The A18 Pro chip, which of course is part of the iPhone 16 Pro, right? I was kind of skeptical, okay? So I didn't expect much coming out of this, but pleasantly surprised. Oof, blooper, that's a blooper. Yeah, so I'm not gonna save it. Logic, you've impressed me a lot, okay? And not to mention, I do use quite a bit of plugins sometimes with my projects, especially like Nexus. So I'm gonna have to test that out still. But so far, first impression, very, very nice. Okay, I take back what I said on Wednesday. It can handle some light to medium level music production. Okay, anything that's super, super intense, I still wouldn't suggest. Of course, if you're really, really doing that kind of producing, honestly, look for like a refurbished MacBook Air or anything higher than this, really. I still do stand by my point that this laptop is more for like everyday use and light kind of working, okay? And in terms of how video editing works, well, you'll see the results at the end of this video, and I'll catch you later.